So we are going to look at how to place buttons on the content pane of a frame, and then through that you will be able to handle the button event. So handling the event of a button, handling the event of a button. Event of a button is the class. So we have public static void main, so what we are going to do is to define the JFrame first. That is our window. So creating a window. So we have bin.set title. So we are going to set the size of the window. So the size of the window, I'm going to make it static, and I'm going to make the width 300, let's say 400, and then I'm going to make the height to be 300. So in the set size, I'm going to put width and then height. So set visible. Now this one will give us so saying that I cannot find it, so it means that we have to import the class, that is the Java X.string package that contains the JFrame. So it's now working. So this is what we have. Now we are going to place the container on it. Create the container. So we have the container content main. So we have to use this one to get the container, get content pane. Now what we are going to do is we are going to create a button. So to create a button, on the button the text is going to be okay, so we are going to add it to the content pane. Now before we add it to the content pane, it means that we have to set the layout. So set the layout. So content pane dot set layout. We just want to set it now. So this one, after setting everything, the final is to show. After doing everything, then we show it. So it's saying that we cannot find the class. So where can we get this container? So we need to add import java.awt.star. So AWT will help us to, so we are going to run it. Now you see the button, we have to set the button and put on it. So we have to set the button. Okay, button dot set bound. So set bound, the first two parameters will be the weight from the JFrame to the button, and then this indicate the height, and then the length of the JFrame, let's make it 150. The height of the JFrame, let's make it 80. So let's run it. You see, so the 10 is from this position to this is the 10. 40 from the top here to this position is the 40. So if you increase the 10, you are going to increase this one to this position or this direction. The 40, if you increase the Y, you are going to increase it downward like this. 150 from this to this is 150, and then 80 from here to here, from the position here to this place is 80. Now we want to put a click event. Anytime we click on it, we want to show something here like this. So let's look at how to go about it. Now let's add a method. I'm going to call it public void action perform, and here we are going to put action event. That this method will be used to handle the click event. Anytime you click on the button, then this will handle the click event. But before we add it, we have to add what we call action listener. Event.star. Add action listener. Action listener is an is a class or it's an interface that has the method to handle anytime you click on a button. So what we are going to do is to implement action listener. So we are going to implement action listener. Action listener. And then here we will add OK button dot add action listener. So when we add action listener, that means that we'll be able to handle a click event. Anytime we click on the button, that one will handle. So that is why we need to add the action listener. Okay. So the point is, let's now look at you can say action listener this. So anytime you click on the button, then it's going to trigger this particular button. That's why we are putting the this, meaning that this button. So you can have OK button, cancel button, and other button, save button. So if you add the this, it means that you trigger this button to work, something like that. So anytime you click on it, to call this method and then implement the action event. So what are we going to display here? Let's put a string text. So I'm going to assign whatever we click on it, get action command. Mean that this one will help us to get what we have on the button. So we now display the result. Okay. So that is saying that we cannot reference this in a static context. So we have to create a method, or we have to create a method that will handle this. Okay. So that is why sometimes it is best to create a constructor, so that you don't you only call. You can create a constructor. And then we don't actually put this one here. Then we just call it test button, extend event button. Okay, and we rather put the main method here. So I'm going to rather put everything in the constructor. So what is the constructor doing here? So we now create a constructor, public event button. So instead of having this, we now put extends JFrame here, implement, so we don't actually put this one here. So we are going to remove everything from here. Okay. So what we have is our constructor is here, and then our event method that will handle the button. So here we just have to put, we want to now create a class obj or ob. So anytime you call the constructor, this one will call the constructor this. So let's run it. So that is what we have. So it means that this button will now inherit the JFrame, implement the action listener, and we have these two methods. This is the constructor, this is the method to handle the button. Okay, so as I said, our main method, this is the main method, should always be on top here, so that it will be called first. This one will be executed first, and this will call what we have here. If not, it won't run. So what we see is that anytime you click on a button, you see, so it's going to show okay. Anytime you click on it, see, to show okay, that is the text we have. Click on it, see, it's showing the okay. Why? Because anytime you click on this, the get action command will get the text and assign to this, then we show it. So we could have used what we call if, saying that if text is equal to okay, then we just put J option pane. Let me use J option pane. Show message dialog. So we put null here. I want to put null here. Then put, you click on TXT. So this James option pane is a class. This is a class in the swing package. So you see, when you click on it, you click on OK. You click on OK. So that is what I've put here. J option pane to show the dialog. You click on OK. Okay. So then now here means that when I run it, I don't show on the J pane. I just show on the normal page, console page. If you want to show on the J frame, then you put the J frame here. So that is how you can handle the button.